morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, 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 morning. First test of this should be fun. All right, I have a large gap. I have a large gap at open. Almost immediately. I'd love to take this gap down personally. Wait the first 5 minutes. If you want to get starters, you're more than welcome. If you're new here, you're rewatching, welcome. We do this weekly inside of Leverage University. Check the links down below. See if we can get one retest, and then I'd love to take this down. IWM, I love that 227 level. I do have the chat up so I can see it as well. $5.97 was my level for rejection, so on SPY. Welcome to get starters here if you like. Love the risk to reward IWM. Keep it in the money. 227 puts. So we'll get this retest of this underbelly here. Still a little bit early, but it is Friday, so it's a quick one. Ideally, I'd love next week's contracts. It is OPEX, so anything for today's contracts would be a lotto, or you just need to take profits very quickly. We got Apple again. I like that rejection right there. SPY. IWM. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of starters. It is early. Got some 5. Man, that was quick. Looking at 596 puts for 0 days. See if we can get another entry here. Palantir melting here. Also going to look at some ES as well. That was a quick move right off open. Check. No data, just 15 minutes after the market opens. A little bit of data, but nothing major. Still not anything yet. Didn't get my entry. If you're in something already, congrats. I like the weakness on Apple still. Amazon's got a major gap too as well. Tesla's still strong. A lot of these names have gaps. They're moving very quickly. Any pops, you're welcome to fade them with puts. If you call IWM, really nice there. Second day in a row, I've missed my entry on IWM. So it's falling right off open. That was the entry right there, 227 retest. Very wide ranges still. NVIDIA moving very quickly. starting to see a breakdown here. Trying to see if this candle can close. To usually keep a $500 stop if possible here. See if it can continue. Top of that wick. All right, stopped out. Very volatile. I like that retest of IWM back up there. Bit of rejection here. SPY, it's just very volatile. I like how that rejection's kind of looking there. Still not anything options wise. Try to take a little scalp on ES. Last couple of days. All right, nice rejection on IWM here. All right, I'm in a little bit of SPY puts, 596. Tried to like get exactly that retest there. I'll keep my stop loss right above this 597 level. And a couple of contracts of 596s. Still gonna wait on futures. I might have to go down to the micros just because of the volatility. Start off with some starters on MNQ, try to get this gap filled down. I'll add to it if I like this flip of this candle. All right, nice there. See if we can get some continuation on these candles here. yes, game plan worked out. Just had to stop out of that. SPY puts looking good. Move my stop loss to break even on just because we took a little bit of a loss on the first trade. See if it can reject this VWAP and then flip this candle. You gonna stop me out, really? Keeping my stops really tight. Same thing with SPY. Wow. I was only in starters and SPY puts. So it's like it's going to be one of those days again. For anyone that's their first time seeing me trade, I'm usually more of a scalper. So I like scalping trades. I want to see break of levels and continuation. But so I usually wait for the first 5-minute candles. Anytime I see a big gap like this, I'm typically trying to trade that gap. See if we can get some continuation to the gap. But they always don't get filled right away. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of what happened yesterday. Just big traps and fake outs, and then obviously at the end of the day, it finally decides to roll over. On days like this, what you want to do is you want to still trade your plan to the downside, or into the direction that you like, but ultimately you want to size down or put some time on the contracts till next week. I might add to this if I see a rejection here on my SPY puts. I'm gonna see it kind of stay below 597 ideally. Bulls have regained control a little bit there on SPY. IWM still looking really good. Man. I have to go back to my just right off open. Yeah, turn the music. Yeah. Yep. Let me know if that helped a little bit. Sorry, just seeing the chat. So I'm doing this because I personally think it's fun, but also I think it's, important to see, how people actually, their emotions, give people an idea of what the market looks like as well. Live is a different beast when candles are moving and you're trying to analyze which direction. So I like the downside. It's just where's the entry for the downside? And you see it's moving very volatile. So here's SPY up here to my left, came down, it's trying to retest the high, but still technically forming lower highs, okay? So technically forming a lower high there. So it's kind of what I'm paying attention to. You can see also that QQQ or the tech is slightly weak. Okay, slightly weak comparative to SPY, rotating pretty like aggressively there versus lagging behind here. Small caps, IWM still holding up very, very strong here. So we might see a big move later in the day. It's very, very early, obviously. We're only literally 30 minutes into the market. So then we got a bunch of gaps to the downside. Bunch of gaps to the downside. So wherever the top decides to be, um, which I still like this 597 area, but we're starting to kind of trend out of this area just slightly. So I just want to be a little bit more mindful here. We do have still some room to the upside, but RSI, relative strength index, getting a little bit heavy up here on a shorter time frame. See if it can clear, double top, or do we form a lower high there? IWM, I mean, QQQ is still fairly weak here, so Apple still weak there. AMD pretty nice off this 123 area for puts. And actually, I like NVIDIA as well. If NVIDIA rolls over here, it starts coming back down, then we're going to see the market turn. A little bit more volatile than usual. Tesla, nice rejection there. Fridays are very, very fast. So kind of like this QQQ weakness. All those tech names roll over. Still in a little bit of my SPY puts, but this QQQ looks very enticing here. Since I am public, it's like live trading here. I do want to make sure that people understand that 0-day expirations, if you are not in our community or you're trading for the first time, um, just be mindful, trade at your own risk. Getting some motion here. Pre-market high, SPY 597.68. I actually added a little bit to my SPY there. 596 puts. I am doing 0 days. I am lighter size. So only got a couple contracts. Not really trying to do too much craziness today. Futures, I'll still look at MNQ. I like this weakness here. I'll probably leave ES alone just because it's a little bit strong and very volatile right now. So I'll retest that MNQ. Some contracts here. 35, and I'll try to take it down to, I want the full gap personally. Nice rejection there on SPY. Now we just need continuation. Here's that big gap. So I really want QQQ all the way down into the 516s. Need a break of this low here. Again, quick, you know, if you enjoy this or if you like this, I'm not going to do it all the time because we got our live trading inside of our community inside of Leverage. But if you like these on Fridays, welcome to do them, you know, a couple times a month and just kind of give people a little insight. Still like this candle on QQQ. I just needed to flip red for me. Seeing Amazon getting a little bit weak there. Apple tech names, if they can just roll over just a little bit. NVIDIA can give us a little help here. Bottom left of my screen. Looking at NVIDIA here as more of a rising wedge. Let's see if it can find a top and roll over there. Still no continuation on SPY just yet. Big rejections, but no continuation. Still like the downside. IWM still looks good as well. IWM to me looks like a decent bear flag here. If it can break that trend line right there, we'll see a candle come down. Like that. Everything right now is still early entries. Okay. Could be a really nice big move. So I'm willing to take the risk on some small SPY puts. 596. I am in zeros. So ideally, if you're new or you're not comfortable, I would definitely do next week's, maybe Monday or Tuesday. If you're just trading with us here. As well, my bottom level on QQQ, if we break this low, okay, would be down into the 516s. And IWM's looking beautiful again. Be down into the 524s. So got 3 more minutes left on this 30-minute candle here. So I would love for this 30-minute candle to just continue through this yellow line and create a new low. Beautiful IWM right there. Man. Second day in a row. Missed that. Still watching NVIDIA over to my bottom left. Looking for a candle to come out of NVIDIA like this. I'll draw it into existence, see if we can get a rejection there. Get that candle coming out of that wedge. So if you do not like trading the indices, SPY, QQQ, IWM, I actually like the 137 puts on NVIDIA. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's create some new lows here, get out of this range. Need some help from NVIDIA, getting some help from Apple rejecting there. QQQ, let's get this solid candle, pushing new lows here. Beautiful, let's go. Come on. Get this candle to close solid. I typically like to see underneath the non-EMA on a 15-minute. That purple line right there. We're underneath the 9 and VWAP on a 5-minute here on SPY. I like that. Needed to close weak and then get the next candle to kind of open up. Mhm. 13 more seconds. Wow, buyers stepping back in again. To see a bigger flush through that level. I need this candle to kind of open up and continue. Come on, NVIDIA, give us some help here. Yeah, those buyers stepped right back in again. Wow. Mm. Tell me we're about to coil and do this chop mess again today. Stop loss. Trump pump might be in effect today. IWM gaining some steam. Yeah. I'm holding IWM 224 puts. Will it go green possibly? Yeah, Tabitha, I don't like to say possibly or, hope. It's not a strategy type of ideal. I like the structure of IWM. Right? I like this lower highs. I like that break of that trend line. Man. Market's holding pretty well. It's doing roughly the same thing it did yesterday. Beautiful fall right off open. And then coiling into a range. Oh man. No continuation. Mm. QQQ holding up that 520 level. Let me check around the market. You got tech that's mostly filled, most of its gaps. But if this Amazon somehow, some way keeps creating new lows and gets through that gap fill, that'll help it on the downside. Semiconductors, SMH, Bitcoin running. Must be finance. get finance to cool off. If you're playing calls or you're playing the upside, I'd just be a little bit cautious. We've already ran a lot pre-market. Yes, we could go higher. We are holding this level very, very well, kind of like yesterday. I don't know what this mess is. Stop loss is triggered. Wow. I'm in light enough size where I can give it a little bit more breathing room for me personally. I like to have wider stops, but this is pumping. Still not creating any higher lows necessarily. It's just holding these levels. And these buyers are still, present up at these highs still. Very similar to yesterday. What happened at the end of the day yesterday? We flipped this hourly candle green. Wow. We've now cleared new highs here. This is real as it gets. Sellers protecting that pre-market high. Still 30 minutes into the market. Ranges are very, very wide. Still forming lower highs here. SPY still hasn't cleared. It's forming higher lows. It's changed direction. Still hasn't cleared pre-market high. IWM still looking really nice. See, it's not really pumping like the Qs and SPY. And the more that NVIDIA coils up here like this weak grind up into 138, the more I like the rejection. And it should be coming pretty soon. Still hasn't broken trend there yet, but more it coils over. I'm watching cues as well right here. So if you're still in some puts or you're thinking about it, or if you're just watching today, that's cool too. That's cool too. Once the trade starts working in my favor, I'll start teaching a little bit about why and what I was looking at. Just trying to get it out of this range here with more continuation. I still like this 15-minute candle, still rejecting. Need some help from NVIDIA here. Need that big red candle to start pushing out of that trend line. I'll probably be taking my profits a little bit faster today and leaving maybe a runner, but not liking the price action, at least for right now, still early. Really hasn't chosen a direction. Nice candle on NVIDIA there. See if it can push through VWAP a little bit stronger than that. Nope, buyer's still there. So what I'll do now is I'll draw a trend line on SPY. It needs to break that trend line. All right, there's that candle on the video I was looking at. There come the cues. There's IWM. Get this SPY candle to flip. And then I wanted to take out these lows here, that 519 level on QQQ. And I want SPY to take out this 595 level ideally. Still no continuation. Buyers still holding up the levels. Just checking out the video here. Could be a coiled lower high. Still holding up that trend line. Buyers still present here on cues as well. Probably shouldn't have started live trading on an OPEX day, the day before the inauguration, but you know, whatever. The action can be very wonky. Everything's still holding very, very well for more upside. The higher NVIDIA goes, it's still like that put idea. Still like that put idea. It could be a trap. So for safety purposes, if you are, I'll just throw this out there. Please trade at your own risk because I'm not inside of my community. But the 136 puts for next week, I know they're a little pricey, or the 135 puts for next week on NVIDIA. The closer it gets to 138, and even maybe squeeze up into 139, and you're taking it back down to 135. That could just be a day trade. So a little for safety there. If you are comfortable with 0 days for protection, I would do the 139s and then maybe 138s right there on NVIDIA for puts. So just wanted to throw that out there. Indices are trading awfully right now. It's grind actions. Got to break out of these channels. IWM is probably the best looking one from open. And then I'd put QQQ just because it's looking like a bear flag potentially right here. If it can actually roll over. But buyers are holding this up and it's forming these higher lows here. So Qs have to break that trend line there. I'm gonna stick with my idea. I'm just lighter size. Congrats to anyone on IWM. That was nice. Go to IWM chart here. Very slow grind down. So be mindful of 225 as it gets into 225. We could have a flush today, some big move at the end of the day. I could see that. Yeah, just be mindful. Check the chat here. Meta about to rip. Supreme Court upholds TikTok ban. Yeah, Bitcoin. Everybody trying to buy it up before the inauguration. I get it. Just looking for a little bit of profit taking before it. But market's still holding. NVIDIA starting to get a little bit exhausted here. See, it's kind of rolling over, creating just a little bit of a lower high there. If you're watching my screens, NVIDIA bottom left-hand screen, Apple middle of my screen, and I'm watching that NVIDIA because it's going to essentially follow what SPY and QQQ are going to be doing. NVIDIA still holds up. SPY and QQQ are still going to hold. The moment NVIDIA starts flushing a little bit here, or maybe just gives it up just slightly, SPY and QQQ are going to roll over. Said Meta. Yeah, it's melting. What's Tesla doing? Ooh, once Tesla cools off. Yeah, Tesla A little bit overextended here on RSI, just slightly on a 15-minute. The moment that that cools, the moment that some profit takers come in, yeah, we'll see it potentially start moving backwards a little bit. But if you're still sitting on your hands, that's cool. But I am not liking upside as Tesla and all these are going up and they're just kind of coiled and sitting here. Watching this. There's Tesla. There's NVIDIA. You see it looking roughly the same here. Should get a big red candle here pretty soon. The moment Tesla cools off. For anybody rewatching, if you're not familiar again with myself or how I trade, I pretty much trade price action with a couple of indicators. So I'm watching price action, how the candles are moving at certain levels. How'd you know it was going to fall like that? Because I'm watching what these are doing. All right, it's a trap. So now we just need continuation. Get that big flush candle. Come on. Just like that. Just like that. I'm not going to celebrate just yet till we start clearing these lows with a solid candle. I want NVIDIA underneath. If you took that NVIDIA short, congrats. 137 puts, 138 puts. Should be looking good. Nice bearish flag here. Let's go. Clear. Clear that yellow line right there. Get back underneath 520 on QQQ. Tesla, get back underneath this 9 EMA. Head towards VWAP. 3 more minutes left on this 5-minute candle. Need that candle to continue. If you're in profit, you're more than welcome. Green is green. But I like the bearish flag that's forming there on Qs. And it broke trend. I just needed to form a new low. NVIDIA, let's see if it can clear this VWAP here. That should get it moving. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Clear it. Clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff. Clear for take. Welcome to Take Profit if you like. Here's my MNQ. I still was in that. All right, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna widen my stop. I'm gonna give this some room. I'm gonna try to take it down to 20 QQQ if it can get through that level. See that yellow line is still sticking a little bit here. Those lows still holding. Just some profit taking coming in. There's still more room to the downside. Tesla moving down into VWAP here. If those can continue, NVIDIA close underneath VWAP here. We've got lower. SPY still holding up very, very strong here. So if you took that trade, you took your profit, congrats. I'm still in a little bit of my SPY puts, just not doing it for me today. Not doing it for me. I'm going to see if this retest on that little profit taking, if we can get lower. I love the structure of the bear flag there. Now, does that mean we can't go higher? No. Right? Once we get, a deeper pullback, yes, we can run back to the highs. Right? Right now, still holding 596 on SPY. IWM, beautiful still. I love the structure of IWM, how it's still forming. There's really no buyer stepping in out of the way. I need these things to clear here. It wants to drop. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm setting M&Q take profit at 21,350. I love that level. 21,350. Yeah, I'm giving some room. I think this could be big. I'll set that as well. $21,350. I like it. Still in about quarter size, so less than one NQ contract here on M&Q. So still in quarter size. As you see, I don't really have a stop just set because I like the structure. I don't want it to stop out too early. I'll start trailing my stop loss once I see it fail below VWAP and just protect some profits there. But don't have it set just yet. Ideally, it would be above 570, but I like the structure. And I also am more of a scaler into trades. So I scale into trades. I don't go ahead and enter my full size immediately. So that's why some of you may be wondering, if you do trade futures, why I don't have a stop loss set. Beautiful in SPY. If you caught something, put it in the chat. If you caught something, put it in the chat. If you're green, put it in the chat. If you're green, put it in the chat. If you're green, put it in the chat. Beautiful NVIDIA. Golly. Wish I would have taken that instead of these SPY puts, but they still could work out. Roughly around the same price for the contract. So I just like the structure of NVIDIA a little bit better. SPY is playing around until it clears this 9 EMA on this 15-minute. Put a fire emoji or a 1 in the chat if this is good thus far. Seeing my trading style, whether you agree, disagree, maybe learn something. Teaching while I'm in here as well. Everything that has happened has kind of formed out. And this is the difference, about trading in general, is understanding what's coming and reading the price action. Someone would see green on NVIDIA and start chasing calls here, right? Seeing the bigger picture. How I looked at Tesla here to, confirm that I do like M&Q or the Qs a little bit more, just because we have the tech names that are, just some profit taking coming in. Still buyers holding up these levels, which is wild to me. Especially on SPY. It did break trend, so we'll see if it can retest the trend line here. What a candle. A dollar candle. Wow. Wow. Still gonna widen my stop on this. That's crazy. is crazy. Still underneath this 20, this 565. I'm still going to give it some breathing room. Crazy work. Still like that. I still watch SPX as well. So SPX is still underneath 6,000. So hopefully it doesn't consolidate up here too long. Need to break out of this range here. Bruh, if you consolidate all day, that is crazy. No continuation on Nvidia. Still some selling coming in on Tesla. I wouldn't say selling, just profit taking. So Tesla could just be retesting this high here at VWAP. Check the chat. Just disrespectful. Absolutely disrespectful. Wow. All right, looks like Apple's a little bit of the culprit there. Still holding up that 230 level. Let's see if Apple can reject off of that and fill the rest of that gap. I normally don't do this, but I mean, my sentiment, kind of like yesterday, was correct. It's just early in the day. We're in the middle of a range, but end of the day, I mean, could something like that happen into the day? Yeah, technically, but really just don't want the cues to retrace all the way back up to the highs. That's my only thing. These buyers are like, oh, nope, gotcha. When you're in a market like this, if you're fairly new or maybe you're rewatching this, um, this is how it looks when some of you are maybe in free Robinhood Facebook groups or just on Robinhood wondering what happened. Right, it was just up and then it went down. It just went up. So you want to look at the bigger picture. Ideally, what I'm looking at is NVIDIA still bullish technically because it is holding up these higher lows here, right? But same thing as yesterday, it held up higher lows. It got to the level it wanted to get to, and it rolled over. So, all right, it could squeeze a little bit higher, and there's more gap up to 139. But I'm just looking for a pullback and then run. But what do I know? Need SPX to stay below that 6,000 level. So like QQQ wants to hold this support of 519. That is a support level. So need help from Apple and NVIDIA again. And Tesla. Man, should have just taken off open. Second day in a row. And I usually do. When I see a big gap up or the market's up significantly pre-market, I typically go ahead and get the opposite direction ready to go. So market was up pretty tremendously this morning. So there's definitely gonna be some profit taking at open, and I usually just go ahead and jump into some puts or sells for a quick scalp. This move right here, 597 right back down to 595. QQQ, opened at 522 right back down to 519. So same thing with IWM. Because now we're coiled and trying to decide a direction. I'll stick with my game plan of downside a little bit more. If some of you are wondering as well, I do like watching the market and associating that with my futures personally. So I know exactly where I am futures wise sitting right here. Just because I like personally watching, coming from options, I like watching the stocks because it gives me an idea, ideally, about what QQQ Aspire are going to do. If I see Tesla break through this VWAP, okay, cool. If I see NVIDIA, if I see Apple rejecting, cool. If I start seeing one of those names or a couple of those names getting strong, then start maybe changing my sentiment. Can y'all even hear the music? I know it was a little bit loud earlier, so maybe it's slightly in the background. NVIDIA getting some strength. Really today, market? I get it. I get it. The Trump pump, I get it. I get it, but geez. was like one push away from trimming too. Like the stop right there, I was one nice push away from trimming. I said I wanted QQQ down into the 517s. It still may happen. It's just I don't like being in the market that long personally. We're in roughly an hour, and Nvidia is squeezing into new highs here. You should be in comfortable size. These are days you size down. I have to trim your profits a little bit. Keep your stop losses tight if you want to. Widen your stop losses. That's your prerogative. Personally, the reason why I'm not looking at my SPY puts right now is just because I'm literally in baby size. But that sucks. What a bounce. $1.50 bounce. And a 50-cent rejection right there. Crazy. The market's still stalled while Nvidia is pushing up and Apple's rejecting. Apple. Tesla kind of failed back underneath this 530 level. Buyers still present heavily right now. Just not giving it up. So the only thing I've officially, quote unquote, signaled, or if anyone jumped into IWM, that's still looking good. It still hasn't retraced at all, really. I did say I was in a couple of SPY puts, nothing major. And a little bit of a Nvidia scalp as well. If you're still holding Nvidia, if you happen to take it, obviously you see at the top of the screen, trade at your own risk. So I do have official signals that I typically text in my community along with the live trading. When I'm really confident about something, I will load contracts. I will tell people, enter here. I like this. Go ahead and get them prepared. Right now, as you've seen, I've just given ideas, right? Given ideas. I like the bigger picture, but nothing confirming right now. Meaning bigger picture, more downside, or a healthier pullback, I should say. Healthier pullback. Like, did some news come in or something? Because that was just out of, felt like it was out of nowhere. The later it gets in the day, if you're entering something, you'd want to look for ideally next week contracts. Also, it's cool not to trade today, and you're just watching for entertainment purposes. I told myself too, the next, I think it was right here, the next big fall, I was gonna go ahead and trim because I didn't trust it today. The market with this consolidation action, and I was one tick away from trimming. Who's NA? If you don't mind me asking, is that somebody I know? If not, that's cool too. If you just follow the channel. SPY is just super strong right now. Still like this NVIDIA short. I said, closer it gets to 139, 138 level, the more I like it. A little bit of a fake out move there at that support of 136. I thought it personally should have gone down to 135, but does what it wants to do. Kind of need the market to get moving personally, because some of these names are starting to consolidate in support. Now, if someone were to ask me, like, this could be either one right here. Technically, this is a bull flag. Like, if someone were to ask me what kind of structure is this, technically, it would be more of a bull flag. Nice support build, and then rotate back up to the highs for QQQ. But also, it could be a nice little potential bear flag as well, lower high. That's why it's a little bit iffy and tough right now. Check the chat. Just you don't know any NAs. I'm hurt. Who is in? Oh, I already know who that is. What's going on, bro? You need to get back, man. You need to get back. You need to get back. The sumo thing was hilarious. You get back this weekend or next week? I know you were there for a week. Yeah, you were looking at the 350s down for MNQ. That'd be that full gap fill. Even the 400s wouldn't be bad either. Still failing this high here. It's that OPEX action, man. Options expiration action where it just does some funky stuff, consolidates. I'm like, what is... I'm trying to see what is, like, moving this. guess Nvidia on its own. Like I don't. SPX 6000. I think that's what it was trying to retest there. Yeah, still at 6,000 SPX. See if we can get a bigger rejection off of that level. Dang market. Who's the skate reel? If you don't mind me asking. Like some people keep their names just anonymous. I'm like SPY is pushing above 6,000 now on SPX. Need this to chill out. That gap and go is wild. This has been a tough week trading. If y'all aren't in the community, y'all see me. Been a tough week of my personal strategy not really continuing how it should, or not continuing in the direction that it should aggressively. It doesn't always have to, but I'm trading a certain plan of resistance, and maybe I should not trade it, or just give it time. Like I was so salty yesterday after watching the market, what it did at the end of the day, and I was like, man, which is why I switched up my strategy today. I tried a couple of ES shorts, like my normal 3 to 5 contracts, take it 10 points, and stopped out. And today I was like, man, let me just switch over MNQ, see if it can get a nice push underneath these lows by the end of the day. Just give it some room. It's literally like a barcode right now. Do, 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 do. Wow, SPY. Those SPY puts may be dead. Dead. Still like IWM structure. It's moving slow as molasses, but it's only moved like $1. Not really the candle I want to see on SPY. flip that whole thing, it could squeeze up to 599. Mm, come on. We need to see some failures ASAP. ASAP. Y'all remind me next time if there's any gap off open, just take it. Just take the first 5 minute candle down because this is not how I'm trying to spend my Friday. uh, all right. Lift the vibes back up. Need a failure back underneath this previous high here on SPY 597.70. Do not need it to turn into a support. I need NVIDIA to roll back over here like it's doing right now. Get a little bit more aggressive. Start breaking trend. Man, Tesla bounce. Oh, don't you do it, Tesla. Wow. Hmm. Check the chat. Holding SPY, 4 contracts, 590. Are you at zeros, Billy? Yeah, are you in zeros, 0 day expirations? Wow. Jeez. Oops. Not mean to close the chat. Dang. It's not kind of candle I'm trying to see. Oh my God. Getting a whole candle out of nowhere. Yeah, I agree with you. That we could see, fall towards the end of the day. The higher it goes, the more I like it. So if you're not in it, it's like I think, you know, personally. Still like the puts higher. It's just where is it coming back to? It could be a big fall, it could be a minor fall, and we can consolidate. It's just SPX is back above 6,000 here. A very bullish candle. So I need failures back underneath 6,000. This yellow line here. Still in some MNQ. Sheesh. Tesla bull flag right here. Nvidia's getting a little bit exhausted at 138. I need one of those like $3-4 drops like yesterday. Oh man. If you're inside a leverage university already, you already know what setup I'm looking for here. It's just taking forever to pan out. IWM's been looking beautiful this whole time. So congrats to anybody that's been holding IWM. That is just clean. Top right screen. Super clean. See if we can get this failure back below. Technically back below 6,000. Need to confirm back below strongly. Still my MNQ. I kind of want to add to it actually, but we'll wait for a little bit more confirmation. At this point, my SPY, just being transparent, my SPY puts, I've only got a couple, are now lottos for end of the day. I've got some 596s. I thought that flush would have done it into the 595s. They would have been into the money. So I'm just going to be realistic with myself. Just because I have lighter size, I'll hold. But they are now considered lottos. It's not a, especially for zeros. If I had 598s and stuff like that, I would be adding to it and whatnot. But right now, I'm not going to add any more to it. But if this is your first add, I would definitely, I like the put idea up here close to 598 and some change. 599 is the top. Excuse me. IWM, I'll give you RTY. I'll give you some love next week, man. This is because you've been doing right for the last 2 days. You have been acting right how you're supposed to, filling the gap, pulling back. Mm. Wow. Mhm. Always 0 days. Oh, Monday night you're back. Dope. Oh, we're squeezing higher. Mhm. I don't think I'm asking for too much for this QQQ and MNQ to do what they're supposed to do. Man, bruh. If I get back into profit, I'm just gonna take it, leave some runners, try to follow my rules here because this just chalk it up to next week for futures and just see if some of the options can, or at least those spy puts can maybe work out a little bit. Need this QQQ, same thing as NQ. I need this QQQ back below VWAP. My entry was right at 21,540. So pretty wide stop right now. I got 40 points. I kind of want to add more to it too, but chilling in IWM. $82 at open. Now they're 164, roughly $100 per contract. Meanwhile, you got SPY. And Google. It's wild. Absolutely wild. It's disrespectful. To see that type of drop right there off that lower high. Crazy thing, Nvidia is still like, I know it's still uptrending, but it's still like, it's just very slow grind up. It's not as aggressive. Bro, what are y'all waiting on for this drop? Look at IWM's candles. Beautiful candles. Mm. Freaking gap and go. Who would have thunk? My mom texted me about XRP. I told her a while ago to buy some. Always happens. Something pumps and everybody Man, did you hear about? Yeah, yeah. I know. Been in it. My gosh, bye. These puts are just dead right now. It's about to be fun to watch back. First live stream, you take an L on the puts. Things the MNQ still could work out, and I still got hope alive, but I do not like having hope in the markets. Because now it's broken above this previous resistances. Crazy. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is pushing it. Market makers just I don't. Amazon's coming down. Apple's rolling over. Microsoft rolling over. Nvidia rolling over. Okay, Bitcoin strong, probably. MSTR. Finance. Okay, that's what it is. It's finance. Jeez. Really? Of all days, finance, you wanna try to show out. Of all days. But it is getting to an extension point, so all days trying to show out. So tech is doing what it's supposed to do. That's why you don't see QQQ really ripping like SPY is. It's finance. I think I said in the last YouTube video, watch finance. Yeah, Goldman Sachs up $10 on the day. So that means I still like the MNQs or the QQQ puts for right now. It's actually a decent sign that found that what the culprit was of SPY. Not ideal, but Tesla's still strong too. Tesla every Friday has just been squeezing. Like end of the day and stuff. Like the last couple of Fridays, it just says, nope, I'm just gonna squeeze it out. And then I should have stayed up for London session. Look at this move. Like just a couple of MNQs, Nico's or anybody. 512 to 523. Are you kidding me? Overnight. Who had earnings today? After hours, nothing really this morning. So all the major earnings kind of came through already. Another bull flag on QQQ and SPY. Tech is tech and Bitcoin going crazy. The lotto life. Yeah. Ugh. 2 days in a row getting wrecked. Thought QQQ could do it. I may have to stop out of this MNQ. I cannot have it retrace all the way back to the highs. And I'll just re-enter. Kind of sucks, but SPY, it's just squeeze up to 599. QQQ back to 523, which would be 60-50 on MNQ or NQ. Trying to give it a little room because it's just this exhaustion, but the buyers are just squeezing this thing higher. I'm going to clear these charts and kind of rechart it a little bit. Man, I was in profit too. That sucks. At this point, I don't see where a top is other than back to highs and squeezing. It could fall at any point, but I mean that daily candle right there is strong. Really gonna squeeze back up to 601 today. Wow. MNQ back above 21,600. Key psychological level there. We're squeezing. Next candle that I see fall, I'm gonna stop out of this MNQ. Jeez Christ. Okay, godly candles. Can give me one red candle. Just one. y'all see this? $5.99 SPY. After that hold, should have flipped my sentiment. After this consolidation hold and this build, should have flipped my sentiment in the short term. I don't see anything but room up until 600. Meanwhile, IWM, beautiful. You ain't got any thoughts on this? I mean, I'm not surprised leading up to the inauguration, but I'm a little surprised there wasn't a deeper pullback. I guess the deeper pullback was yesterday afternoon. Thoughts on IWM? Market probably dumped during close of hour. Yeah, I could see that for sure. That's why I'm giving it a little chance. I would need SPY to get back into 595s. Now up here, I know I keep saying that the higher it goes, but like I remember that 599 close to 600. I was real interested in on SPY, and QQQ still not above previous highs. So, and then Nvidia, closer it gets to 139, it's got a little bit of a gap fill up to 139. So closer it gets there, if it just squeezes up there, it grabs liquidity. My thoughts on IWM? Yeah, I still love the structure. I mean, the higher time frame on IWM is definitely lower highs. The structure switched on QQQ and SPY due to finance and a lot of the tech names, obviously, with the inauguration. Yeah. The only reason I didn't go to IWM today, I like this level 227, obviously, is because yesterday it didn't continue and it actually showed strength. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like maybe it's strong. Maybe it wants to just continue higher. And that's the only reason I personally didn't trade it. So, and then SPY's ranges are so wide right now. It's wild. I mean, $4, $5, $6 bounces. If you switched your sentiment, awesome. If you switched your sentiment, awesome. I typically don't like to switch my sentiment. If I'm in lighter size or whatnot, I'll just stop out and take my loss and then reassess. But we're definitely squeezing. Tesla getting really strong here. Buy still going, trying to get to that gap fill of 600, trying to just tap it probably. ES, that's 60.50. I do like that level. ES 60.50. It did jump into a little bit of MES right here. I like that 60.50 level. I'm still in my MNQ as well. Obviously still in my SPY puts. I've got 596s, so I need it to flush pretty aggressively, which could definitely happen. You know, into those 595s potentially. Need to show some promise. Doo, doo, doo. We can get that QQQ back below VWAP. That would be beautiful there. Apple, pretty big rejection there. Nothing confident just yet. Just getting some profit taking here. Still holding up these higher lows. You need it back underneath these moving averages, VWAP and the 9 EMA. It's showing a little bit of heaviness, but need more. Probably need Tesla to cool off back to VWAP, bottom right hand screen. We are 2 hours into the market. Two hours in, and buyers are still holding up. Just give me VWAP. That's all I'm asking for. Just give me a VWAP push at least. And Microsoft is super flat. Amazon. Buyers bought that up pretty quick. Sheesh. Meta still below VWAP, but starting to build a little bit here. Check the chat. Y'all good? Not surprising we are recovering. Yeah, we had good economic data, good jobs, inflation report. Yeah. I'm trying it. Give it a chance and breathing room. Yeah. Yep. So again, because this is on live, I just want to make sure that we do respect stop losses. We're not just going rogue here, but if someone is comfortable with a wider stop, to give it room, because this market is more volatile. So sometimes you got to give the wider stops with lighter sides a little bit more room. Because the trade could still work out. We could get a big candle, eventually, pushing back down to here. So either you keep your stop loss tight and re-enter, or if you're in lighter size and you're comfortable with, whatever you have in, you can trade it in that direction. So this is not going to be normal. I'm trying to be in and out on a Friday. I usually like to see failures of a 9 EMA on a 5-minute pretty confidently. 15-minute even more confident. So you see us riding this purple line, this 9. It's got to get underneath that 598 on SPY. Same thing here. It's got to get back underneath 521 ideally. That'll be pretty confident there for a pullback. Until then, it's just going to keep trying to hold that line. Apple's doing its job. Market is still holding. What I mean by market is SPY. If I see QQQ below this 521, I know that our MNQ is good for futures. If I see SPY below this 597, there's some chance. I don't want to say hope. There's some chance for folks in SPY puts. Apple's doing its job. Maybe NVIDIA will follow. I like how that candle on that 15-minute in the middle of my screen on QQQ is starting to, just close a little bit more solid. One more minute left on that candle. Not really liking the 15-minute just yet on SPY. It's just still a lot of bottom wicks here. See the difference? So I got to get finance to cool off. Let me see. GS. Yeah, that can start moving. JP Morgan still pushing. Bitcoin 105,000. All the altcoins pushing today. XRP is still 320 something. Where these candles are coming from on SPY. If anyone's still in IWM, I still like how it's still forming a wick underneath this non-EMA. It is now daylight outside here. That's how you know it's been in here way too long. Let's see if we can get it here. The longest live stream ever. Really need NVIDIA to get underneath this 9. Not really liking how these buyers are stepping in here. I need a candle start forming like Apple. That's what I'm looking at on SPY and QQQ. I need those candles to start forming like Apple. Also, for anyone watching, hopefully this is entertaining. I like to trade risk to reward. So if anyone is rewatching this and somehow found this day trading live, I like to trade risk to reward. So some people might ask, well, why in the world would you not trade in the trend and play calls or switch your sentiment? Yeah, I could have. Like I was saying it the whole live stream is that I did not like this consolidation, how that held up there. So I was expecting higher, but because I was in lighter size, I was comfortable with it. Right now, that might not be everyone's trading style, but I trade risk to reward. I don't like too much more upside here, and there's a lot of room on the downside. So I either can choose not to trade. Would I want to get in calls right here and trade this little bitty grindy action, for a dollar move up? You could have. There's a $2 move from 597 to 599. That's a nice move, right? Or would I want to, sit through a little bit of drawdown, be okay with it, lighter size, and have that happen, right? It may not, be that much. It may take longer, but would I rather have that happen? And that's, more so for people that are not in my community or don't know how I trade personally. So I trade risk to reward versus a lot of times just because the trend in that is in that direction. But that's typically what you want to do. Just for anyone that's beginning, is you want to trade in the trend. If you're strong for that day, look at pullback calls. If you are not comfortable trading the other direction or knowing why in the world someone would be in puts or sells or whatever on the downside. So that's more education for anyone that's rewatching this, not familiar. SPY still another bull flag kind of forming here, which is wild. At least more of a consolidation, at least. Can break out of this channel either way. I would love for that middle QQQ right there to continue to reject that non-EMA right there, that purple line. that candle can flip red, that'll be a decent sign right there. Not like that. Where's the RSI on this? This has got to be ridiculous. 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour. This has got to cool off. Looking decent, not getting too excited just yet. That's decent. Normally I'd be starting yelling and screaming by now, but way today's been. Decent candle out of those consolidations from SPY. Need to get back underneath 598, and I want QQQ back underneath this VWAP here. One big push through it, I'll probably trim some. So I'm still in my MNQ, and I told everyone I did enter in a little bit into some ES or MES. I need to check and see, but trying to trade it back down to VWAP. Trying to look where buyers' stop losses would be. If they got into here, probably be right around 598. So if we can run those lows below 598, it'll trigger those stop losses for anyone that was still trying to look for more upside. Man, still. Let's go. Pick it up. 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 Get through 598. Still watching everybody's IWM as well. If it can reject here and roll back over. Need it through this non-EMA on QQQ. 3 more minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Apple doing its job. Retesting that low, see if we can get all the way down to 227. That'll start picking up helping out the market a little bit. If Tesla can somehow, some way, just stop. just stop. I get y'all. I'm a Tesla bull as well, but come on, Elon. Need it through this purple line. Two more minutes left on the candle. Hour, 2.5 hours in the market. Keep taking out new lows. Need this candle to close weak. Still holding up that 9. Okay, there's a bigger push there. That's nice. Beautiful. Come on. Switch it to a 30-minute here. Beautiful there. And be careful with this VWAP. It needs to get through it. Big break on Tesla right there. That's what I wanted to see. In profit on ES, still not in profit on NQ, which is wild. Are we gonna bounce again? Come on, there's more room on Tesla down. Back to VWAP. Wow. Another buyer stepping back in right at VWAP on QQQ. Maybe a little profit taking. Still think there's more downside. Just need to. Wow, man. Still not fully breaking structure. I'm not gonna lie, everybody. This is frustrating. A little bit frustrating. I have immense amount of patience, as you can tell, maybe hopefully. But when something continuously should be doing something, and it just stops on a dime, be a little frustrating. But SPY 15 minutes sitting on that non-EMA. QQQ literally sitting on a dime here. Come on, Tesla, get your little trend break retest here. Roll back over. I think that's what really did it. It's like Tesla's, QQQ's following Tesla roughly. Check the chat. Let's go. What makes you trade 0DT as opposed to weeklies? Wall Street about to go to lunch. Yeah, for sure. We trade midday, come back power hour. No, I want one big move. I'm out of here. I may come back power hour. I usually do, but typically the skate reel, I'm usually out of the market within the first hour. So if I enter a trade, the first hour, I was looking for this move right here, and I was about to get out of my trade, right? So this is not typical for me. So if you're ever wondering, like, man, I can't stay in here this long. This is not normal, right? Sometimes I come back into the community for power hour. I might not do live trading here on YouTube for power hour. But yeah, I may jump in my Discord for power hour later on. But yeah, the suits, as we call them, or Wall Street, they are at lunch, volume slowing down a little bit. They may be exiting some positions just to trim some profits off, go to lunch, and then the volume is probably going to slow down and a direction is going to be chosen. So it is 12 o'clock Eastern right now. And QQQ is holding up VWAP. Yeah. Right on the nose. My objective was to flush through VWAP yet again and take my profits and be out. So because I'm not necessarily comfortable in where the sometimes I'll just go ahead and set my stop losses and leave and get up. Um, and I'll do that typically once my levels have broken and I've confirmed that okay, the trade's looking good. But right now it's kind of at an iffy spot because it's weak, or I wouldn't say weak. It is starting to get exhausted, right? It's starting to get a little bit exhausted. Some profit taking coming in, and I just need to see if that profit taking is going to continue. Wow. Some of you, I might be like, if you're rewatching this and you're new to day trading, or man, I thought this was gonna be exciting, quick money, easy money, like, and you're like, man, I do not like this. Like, seems stressful. Like, it is not always like this, but every day is different. So some days are non-trading days, some days are trading days. And when I saw a big move pre-market, I personally was looking for another big move, and we've just been grinding, right? Just grinding. Also, I should expect this out of an OPEX day, options expiration day. Typically, you get some weird movement, um, consolidates, moves in a direction, goes in another direction, finally chooses a direction, and then just, goes. What a bounce from Tesla again. Sheesh. I used to love Tesla, like trading it, and now I absolutely despise it personally. For anyone that's in Leverage University in our Discord, it's been in there for at least 3 years, 4 years maybe. Like Tesla was the only thing I traded. Tesla and SPY QQQ. Maybe a little bit of Microsoft here or there, but every day Tesla or looking at Tesla. And some people still do, and you'll hear people on YouTube that still do those things. Wow, another god dang it. They'll still do it, right? The reason I don't like Tesla right now is because it has an ATR, an average true range. A lot of money can be made, but also a lot of money can be potentially lost because it's got $20 ranges each day, $30 ranges each day. So if you're in the wrong side of that trade, like Tesla's moved off open from 421 to 434, so roughly $15, and then back another five, and then back another three really quick, and then it could drop another five really quick back to VWAP. So yeah, not a fan of that. It is. This action is crazy. Appreciate you, Nico. Yeah, I'll see you on Monday, bro. If you're still here. Nico's trading in Japan. He's in Japan right now. So wow. Really gonna hold at these levels. Crazy thing. Watch me say all this stuff and then look at this bull flag right here. What in the world? Yo. Oh my God. Some folks, if they do watch this, they'll be like, yeah, of course. Of course it's gonna bounce. We're in a bull market. It's higher lows. It's gonna go up. I get that. I get that. To me personally, it's at the levels that it's doing it. Very deceiving. A lot of orders just being filled at levels where then IWM is starting to form higher lows. And what does it want to do at VWAP? Oh, y'all ask. I'm sorry. You asked a question. I meant to answer it. Wasn't QQQ 505? Yes, it was. God. Just a student of the game. Cool. You said something about day expirations, which I don't recommend for everybody personally. And when I do it very light size. And what makes you trade 0 day as opposed to weeklies? What's the rationale? So on SPY, right, I was looking for a scalp today. So I was comfortable doing a 0 day expiration on a scalp trade. That means I was trying to get in and out of the trade right here from this 597.80 pre-market high right back down to 596 and see if I can get another dollar push. So that's roughly on a 0 day 30, 40, 50% on your money, right? So I don't need a lot of size, maybe a couple contracts, and I'm in and out, right? And that's just me personally. I don't trade 0 days. And you'll hear people say like, man, 0 days are dangerous. Yes, that's why I always preface and give a signal or an idea to say, hey, put it out till next week, especially on SPY, QQQ, IWM, because if it doesn't go in your direction immediately, that trade could be very invalid and it's going to lose value and it will be at zero at the end of the day, right? So that's why I do not recommend 0 day expirations unless you're scalping and you have proper entries and you're okay with the risk. Otherwise, don't do it. The reason people do it as well is because they're very cheap. So when you hear on Wall Street Bets and all these crazy Instagram posts, man, I turned $50 into 1,000. Yeah, because they probably did a 0 day and left it to the end of the day and just said, right? So when I teach, I just say, hey, treat it as a lotto. Not that you're gambling, but treat your trade that you were going to have work out as a lotto at this point, right? Because you're talking about some people are in 594s, 595s. Like we're at 598. Like, yeah, it could happen, but By the end of the day, yes, it could happen. It could be pinned up here all day, and it could happen on Monday, right? Inauguration, it could be buy the rumor, sell the news, right? That's potentially how the inauguration could go. Pump, dump, right? So that's why, I say lottos, or, treat it as a lotto, or just be mindful that, hey, it's kind of getting out of range right now. So, yeah. So those are the two reasons. Number one, you can get quick moves. Don't have to have a lot of size into it. And you can make 30, 40, 50% on your money, sometimes 100% if it goes in your favor. Number two, it's cheap for a lot of people. They're like, I'll spend 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, see what it does. Right? That's not necessarily trading, in my opinion. It's just, see what it does. That shouldn't be the majority. That should be 10% of what you do. All right. 10% of what somebody does is just say, I'll just see what it does. I really want to call it, but I wanted to let the trade work out while I was here on live. But this is a 3-hour live. That was not my intention. Not my intention at all. Is to have a 3-hour YouTube live. I wouldn't watch a 3-hour YouTube live. I'd be like, 3 hours? Shoot. Still pushing higher. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Tesla squeezing. New highs on Tesla. Y'all let me know. Put a one in the chat if you want to stay here long. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen until power hour at this point. I have to just manage our trades on our own, see what happens, or cut it. I can give you some guidance if you're in anything, but I'll probably jump in the Discord a little bit later. I will update maybe in the chat once this posts, like, did the trade work out, Brian, or whatever. But yeah, bull's still present. We got Tesla running the market right now. NVIDIA, bottom left-hand screen. Apple's fading. Tesla, you see her to my far right, just squeezing. It's literally single-handedly running the market by itself right now. And Microsoft starting to build some steam here. That squeezes, we're going to go higher. Well, going once, going twice. Get a one in the chat. 2 times. Probably should have taken some profit, but trying to follow my rules to let it continue. I mean, shoot. You can't go down to VWAP here for me on SPY. You can't get one tick lower, QQQ. Crazy work. Check chat. 1, if everyone's good, managing their own. Yeah. Guidance on IWM. Suits just bought that dip. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Did my screen go out too? Yeah. It's been so long and my face not even showing anymore. My camera died. Sheesh. IWM, if you're hearing my voice, it's starting to build some steam here. It could retest the high. Watch IWM, going back to 227 potentially. So, yeah. Well, this was entertaining. I will talk to y'all later. Peace, love, and blessings. Trade safe. All right, trade safe. This was a real life example of what it can be like. And I will see y'all later. Maybe next Friday, we'll see how the markets are playing out for Thursday. And maybe we'll do this maybe twice a month or so. I'll see y'all in Discord. Make sure you join the Discord if you want to learn how to. And yeah, we'll go from there. Talk to y'all later. Peace.